So we are happy to see you all again here, safe and sound. All right. So everybody have to take care, yes, of your health. You know how many people get affected by COVID-19 today?
70, sir.
25.
Yeah, a lot, right? More than 70. Mostly, but what is interesting is that mostly Cambodian, right? Yeah, mostly Khmer. Yesterday, mostly Chinese in Khartoum. Today, majority are Cambodian. It looks like the virus right now has become more adaptable. Right? They adapt to our environment through the mutation, maybe. And I heard that there are some new variant emerge in other countries, in England and in other countries. Right, so I think this is very dangerous right now. Okay, today what we are going to do is to cover, to introduce you to the course. First, I introduce you the textbook. You see the textbook?
Yes, sir.
It's international relation,
Mr.
research method in international relation by Christopher Lamont. Okay. Yeah. So please try to get the book. Maybe soft copy. I heard some students have the soft copy. This book. And there are 10 chapters in this book. So hopefully you can really get the soft copy of the book. And I already upload the course outline. If you want, you can download in the course outline. Let me show you. You go to General, you go to File, you go to Class Material. You see the course syllabus here. Okay. So number of credits 3. This is my contact. This is a course description. Maybe in your free time you can really read through this. Okay, through this one. For description, and this is expected learning outcome, including knowledge, skill, and attitude. Again, in your free time you can read the detail. Yeah, this is the program learning outcome, PLO. Yeah, I like to highlight a point in the method of assessment. Similar to the previous class, we have participation, class participation, quiz, and so on. Major assignment account for 20%. Major assignment account for 5%. Portfolio, everyone. Portfolio here, it means that it's a group work, just like assignment and the presentation. So this is all the group work here. Major assignment and presentation, okay, and portfolio are group works. Portfolio here, you keep a folder and you keep record of what you study. For example, if I ask you to today, if I ask you to develop 5 research questions, so you can write down the 5 research questions in the Word file or PDF file, burn it into PDF file, and then you keep it in the folder, right? You put it in the folder. You can name the folder like IS309, okay? Your class E3.1, and academic year, you just put 2021, something like this. And you keep the Word file of the research question that you developed today into the folder. In the next session, I ask you to draft the research design, for example. So when you draft the research design, you present it in the class, you keep that research design and put it into the folder again. So you keep record of what you did in the class. And by the end of the semester, each group send the folder that is a collection of what you have done so far in the semester to me, okay, to me. You also need to write 1-page reflection paper at the end of the semester and put in the folder. Reflect on what you have done this semester. Give to me. So portfolio here account for 5%. Midterm 20% and the final exam 40%. Okay. So you have any problem with the method of assessment? Please raise your question if you have.
Pardon, teacher.
Mm.
Portfolio must attach with reflection paper as well.
Reflection paper here, you reflect on what you have done in the semester.
How long the length?
1 page only. Single space.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you, teacher.
Font number 12. Just reflect on the activity that you have done in this class, okay? And you put in the folder as well. So this is portfolio. Instructional method, student responsibility. In your free time, you can read. Plagiarism and cheating policy and attendance policy. Yeah, attendance policy may also be important. You have to keep record of your own absence, everyone. Since I don't have time to, scrutinize each individual student absent, record of absent. So you have to take care of your own absence. Usually you can be absent for 4 sessions with leave granted without affecting the attendance score. You still have 100%. But if you are absent, because a teacher can grant permission for only 4 sessions. So if you are absent another 4 sessions without leave permission, because each one account for 7.5%, it means that 4 sessions you lose 30%. So you will have only the 70% remaining 70%, which is the minimum passing score. So if you are absent more than 4 times without leave permission, you will fail attendance score. Okay, fail attendance score.
Like for last semester, no one failed attendance. Right?
I haven't checked it yet, please. I haven't calculated totally that one yet. So I cannot confirm. Yes. So this is a thing. 2 things I like to highlight is about the attendance policy, and the assessment policy here. Yes. Okay. So you have any problem? Please go ahead.
Teacher.
Yes.
Portfolio, does it include our note as well?
Yeah. That is referred to your note.
Like we write down in our notebook.
No, yeah, but this time you don't write down in your notebook. This is a group work. You
Okay.
write down in the computer,
Yes, teacher.
right?
Yes.
Because usually I ask you to, for example, I divide you into 5 groups. Each group is responsible for creating 5 research questions. And then each group present the 5 research questions to the class. You do it, you have to do it in the computer because you can share the screen here, right? Right? You don't write it on the paper anymore. This is a COVID era. You don't use the paper and pen. You use the computer, right? You use the digital content, right? You save it in the file. You save it and you put it in the folder, right? And every day I will ask you to do this, to do that. And you save it into the folder. And by the end of the semester, you write you include one reflection paper. Try to reflect what you have done in the subject. And then put in that folder as well and send the folder to me. This is called portfolio, okay? You clear about this, if you want?
Teacher, reflection paper also a group work, right?
Yeah, it's a group work. The whole folder is a group work.
Okay, thank you, teacher.
The whole portfolio or folder is a group work. Yes. Any other question?
Teacher, the group assignment is the same as last semester, right?
I think we should form new group. I guess. First I want to know, are all the students the same in this class as the previous class or different?
Some move to the other class and some suspended.
Yeah, so we don't have the same member, the same number of students. So I think we need to form different group, new group, right? So how many students are there, monitor?
Currently there's 38, but in this class it might be 39.
Okay, so I'd like you to create 6 group, right? To form 6 group. So monitor, please help me form the group, right? Yeah, if ask your member if they want to form their own group or they want you to randomly or form the group through the lucky draw. Okay. And next
Yes,
session.
like I will do.
Yeah, next session, next week, not next session, next week. Next week you send me the list, okay?
Excuse me, like,
Yes.
I'm a student, just moved from morning shift to the evening shift.
Okay.
Yes.
So Piana, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Yeah, when I check attendance, please remind me so that I can include your name in the list, okay?
Yeah, like, thank you.
Teacher, about the leave form, they are still submitting on your email like the previous class, right?
Through what?
Through your email.
Yes, through my email. That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay. If you don't have any other question, good for me to check your attendance a little bit. So if you don't have your name here, please let me know. Or if any student suspend or move out of the class, please also let me know. Okay. Say not here or not?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Yes. Dom?
Here, sir. Here, sir. Here, sir. You see me, sir.
Come side. Look like come side change to the other class, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Kim
like
change,
he
sir.
changed.
Okay. Because I seem to come across his name in other class. So let me put some fill. So I know. Right. Mùi vuốt. How about mùi vuốt?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Siết nán.
Yes, like.
Chai long.
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir.
So Banya.
Yes, like I'm here.
Okay. Sok Lin. How about Sok Lin here? Absent.
No, sir. She's
Hey,
suspended.
Sorin might be suspect.
Hey Sok Lin. Is she here?
Yes.
Okay.
No, sir.
She's suspect.
What do you mean?
She's suspended from this semester.
Okay. Because I asked question, is she here? Somebody say yes.
No.
Okay. And Darlene?
Yes, teacher.
Dane?
Yes, sir.
Panyarot? Boramai?
Yes, like.
Pachata? Pachata? Not here. Dahlia, monitor? Here, right?
Yes, like.
Prasati?
Yes,
Is
teacher.
Prasati here? Okay.
Yes.
Repeat. Is repeat here?
Sure.
We don't hear you well, repeat.
I'm here, teacher.
Okay. Sam Nang?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Thích Kun?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Puthirat? Is Puthirat here? Puthirat absent, right? Which mean?
Yes, sir.
Konita?
Yes.
Sikong?
Yes, sir.
Reni?
Yes, teacher.
Sunhur?
Yes, teacher.
Vosomtai?
Yes, teacher.
We mean? Sorry, I skipped one name. We mean? Here, right? Rengsai?
Yes, sir.
Tida?
Yes, like I'm here.
Virakbot?
Yes, teacher.
Chen Da Niết.
Yes, I'm here.
Sitikun.
Yes, sir.
Keria.
Yes, sir.
Satchanit.
Yes.
Senesa.
Yes.
Radavin.
I'm here, teacher.
Ratiriet.
Yes, teacher.
Sovisal.
Yes, teacher.
Chan Munirot.
Yes, lecturer.
Jordan.
Yes, I'm here, sir.
And Suchita.
Hello, sir.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so any student who don't hear the name, please let me know. Okay.
Like I
Wait. Okay, sorry. Please wait. Okay, let's start one by one. So if you don't hear your name, please let me know.
like I did not hear your I did not hear my name.
Tu Sopena, right?
Yes, like yes.
Okay, so let me write down. I add your name in the list. Tu Sopena. Sopena, which class do you change from?
M3.3 like
From 3, right?
yes.
Okay. 3.3. Okay. Right. Thank you.
Thank you, like
Okay. How about this one? The next one, please.
I was cut out earlier.
Oh, okay. So Putirat. So you're already in this class.
Yes, sir.
So Putirat. Okay. Okay. Well, don't hear the name when I call your attendant. No. Good. If everybody hear the name, that's good. Okay. So the next thing I'd like to discuss is about before I move to the discussion question related to research. I just want to know, how does the COVID-19 pandemic affect your study?
Very effective, sir.
What do you mean very effective here?
It's
Very productive or what?
Oh, unproductive, sir. It's hard to learn in this
It's hard to
circumstance.
learn. Why? Can you give me more detail, Madam?
Yeah, but like my home, it's like at the suburb area. The internet and the electricity, it's not as good as in the city, and sometimes when I study, the electricity just cut off, and sometimes the internet does not work at all. And sometimes when you study online, you don't feel like you are in the classroom, like you are lazy and stuff.
Yeah,
It
okay.
feels more productive to be in front of the teacher and actually listen.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, very good. Thank you, Udom, for sharing about the other.
Teacher, internet first distracted last moment, especially I couldn't respond you.
Oh, Bimian, you are here. Yes, you have problem with the internet connection, right? Okay. Right. I checked already your attendance. I see in the Facebook somebody posted about advantages and disadvantages of online education, right? And they mentioned a lot of advantages. Comfortable, save time, right? Less costly. The only disadvantage is that you do nothing from the study, right? Yeah. But I think, yes, you are right. In fact, I share your feeling, because when I'm a teacher here, I don't feel the same way as I'm teaching in the physical classroom. But first, we have to think of the circumstance, because we are in a special circumstance. And we have to adapt to it. Second, we have to think that this circumstance is temporary. It's not permanent. It lasts for some time, maybe 1 year, or 2 years, or 3 years. The longest one. So when this pandemic come to an end, things become normal. So when you graduate, when you apply for let's say master, when you apply for scholarship abroad, you have to go through the selection process, right? Yeah, you have to go through the selection process. Nobody give an understanding that you come from a period in which COVID-19 affect your study. No. You will go through the selection, the tough selection process, just the same way as the previous generation. So you should not allow this kind of circumstance reduce your learning capacity. So this is very important. I like to emphasize, because I observe that some students also feel lagging a little bit because of the boredom they suffer from studying at home, and because of the environment. For example, they read a lot of Facebook. For example, I also play for Facebook as well, so I know if we read too much Facebook, that really depress our feeling. Yeah, so we have to limit that. So this is. So how do we improve our study? I think depending on a number of factors. First, I think we need to have a strong commitment. You know, in English saying, we say there is a will, there is a way. First, you need to have a willingness first. If you have a willingness, you have a way to solve it, right? So willingness, commitment, motivation. Yeah, motivation. So motivation, inspiration that you can get from being very selective on the material that you read every day, the people that you have contact, you should try to contact or be in touch with the people who can motivate you, who can encourage you, not the people who discourage you. A way I want to talk about a way is about the learning strategy. You know, people have similar intelligence IQ, but the reason why some students perform better than the other student because of the strategy and the commitment they have, because the will and because the way. The way here, I mean the learning strategy. So learning strategy, you have to think of when do you learn better, where do you learn better, and how do you learn better. So when is your productive time for study? Do you learn better at night before bedtime? Do you learn better early in the morning? Can you wake up at 5 o'clock?
No.
Yeah. No? Yeah.
Yes,
So do you like study in the afternoon? So different people, they have different schedule, different productive time, right? Yeah, productive. Depending on you. Some people, I remember some of the students when I was doing PhD in Japan. For me, I like going to bed early. For example, like 10, 11 o'clock. Because if I went to bed late, I have problem with sleeping. If I went to bed at 12, at 1 o'clock, I could not sleep. My best time for sleeping is 11 o'clock. Both in Japan and Cambodia the same. But other students, they go to bed at 6 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock in the morning. Because they don't have class. PhD students don't have class. And the reason why, because their productive time is midnight. They said that they are more productive in writing the dissertation at around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. They were very productive. So everybody stay in the room, it's very small room. You know, in Japan, student dormitory is very small. And they were working on their dissertation, a PhD dissertation, because that is their productive time, right? Their productive time. So first you have to think about the time, productive time. Second is about where. Where do you study better? Do you study better at home, at school, library, or for the coffee shop, or in the pagoda, for example? You know why I said so? Because when I studied medicine in 1995 to 1997, 98, most of my friends liked to go to pagoda to study because it was very quiet. At that time, there was no modern coffee shop. You know, medical student, they study hard, right? They memorize the lesson, so they sometimes they went to the pagoda. So Tikun has the best place to study. It's very quiet over there. But some students, they like to go to school, right, in the campus. Like some medical students, they study at school, they eat at school, they sleep at school, they take shower at school. All right. So depending on you. How you study here? Do you study better alone or in pair or in group. Right, yeah, you said some students, they like studying in group because they said sometimes you can help each other. The one who know more can help the one who know less. But sometimes group study is not good because when you meet and the group is too big, there's a lot of chit chat, no study. It's not productive, right? Right. So I like you to think about this. English proverb, there is a will, there is a way. So you need both will and way. Will means willingness, inspiration, commitment. Way means strategy. Strategy, you think of time, when to learn, place to learn, where to learn, and how. Okay, how to learn. So this is it's important strategy for you to think. So my advice is that you don't have to spend long time, 2 hours every day for self-study. You don't need that time. How much time do you spend for self-study every day? To do homework, to do assignment, to revise the lesson, for example?
It depends.
Pardon?
It depends for me.
It depends. How about on average?
On average, 3 hours.
What's that? I didn't catch it.
Sir, bro, let's say 3 hours, sir.
3 hours, really, for self-study?
No, sir. Only,
Sir,
it depends on my mood.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know. But no, you know what I'm saying is that I want you to pay attention on the productivity and efficiency. Care about the quality of learning, not the quantity of learning. Right? You can spend only half an hour or 1 hour on study, that's enough. If you study productively and efficiently. You get it? Right.
Yes, sir.
In the past, we advised the student. I was advised by my teacher not to study in front of TV because in my generation, TV was a big distractor. How about now? What is the biggest distractor for students? I don't think
learning
because nobody watch TV.
TikTok, sir.
What's that? TikTok. Yeah. So smartphone, right? Smartphone can be the biggest distractor. So stay away from it. Right. Don't throw it away, but just stay away from it for a while during your study. So this is what you need to care is about the efficiency and the productivity. Okay. All right. So this is my general impression before we start our study. Yeah. There is a will. There is always a way. Willingness and strategy combined together, you will get a good result. Don't let this difficult time to reduce your potential ability, okay? Right. Okay, you have any other question? Please go ahead. So next, what I want you to do is to look at this question for the orientation to the research. First, I'd like you to look at the definition of research. So you try to answer the question, what is research? Okay. Here, what is research? Second, look at the importance of research. So we ask the question, is research important? Why or why not? So I will assign you into groups, and you try to discuss among your groups to get the answer to this question. Question 3 involved with assessing the situation of research in Cambodia. So we ask a question, what is research in Cambodia like? What is your general impression about the research in Cambodia? And what are the challenges of research in Cambodia and how to solve those challenges to improve the research in Cambodia? So we have 4 research questions. Okay. All right. So now I'd like you to form the group. I will create 4 break. How many students here? Let me check again. 38. Let me have 6 groups. Huh? I create 6 breakout room. So you have 20 minutes, everyone, to discuss the question. I will send the question through the announcement. All right. So now let's start assigning you into the group now. You have 20 minutes. Okay, be quick. And after that, we will get the answer all together. We will get the answer from you all. Nan.
Yes, like.
And Mui, I cannot assign you, maybe because you use a smartphone, not a computer, right?
Yes, like.
Can you turn on your computer so that we can put you into the group?
My computer was the charger was broke, so I don't have power battery.
Okay, so what can I do now? Okay, so now I'd like you to think of the answer to the 4 research question individually, okay?
Yes, like.
Okay, because I cannot assign you because your name does not appear under the assigned participant. So again, Nan Radavin, I cannot assign you because your device does not support the breakout rule. If you cannot change the device, please think of the answer to the question individually. Okay.
Sorry, like, hello,
Yes.
Can I leave early since I have to go to hospital right now?
Again, in the second session, you have to submit the leave form.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Thank you, bye.
You're welcome.
Yes.
it off a little.
ធានាថាពួកគាត់យល់ច្បាស់នៅ research ហើយផ្ដល់ចំណេះដឹងវាថាច្បាស់លាស់ទៅកាន់ពួកយ៉ាង researcher ពួក oh god.
So we all come back, everyone, right? Right now, time's up for the first session, so I'd like you to have a break, 20-minute break. And we come back, we will share the answers to this question, okay? What is research, for example? Second, is research important? What is research in Cambodia like? What are challenges and how to solve it? Okay, right. So we will have 20-minute break and we come back and we try to get the answer to all these questions. All right, everyone. So let's have a break, 20 minutes.
Frank fry mấy đằng.
Là cái nữa. Phong chiếng rau khê, có mót phong chiếng rau khê.
Sung Khôi.
Yes.
Sung Khôi chui send answer question tỷ 4 ao tới phục phẹn na tích ban ạ.
Off.
Okay.
Nói chúng sẽ nói. Chả nếu nhóm share screen mà, nếu nhóm share screen mà rau khê.
Ơi, đòn.
Mẹ con là đấy, ban bơ pro mất.
Vâng, ta phải rotate.
Wow, chả nhố chứ, nhóm mà lỡ đây si việc khá này.
Lôi mẹ, gặp đi cho
ơi. Nhóm châu khỏi cái, nhóm đây si việc khá, mà em si việc khá nó bên đây tha cái đây anh dương lấy.
Thế đằng là máy đâu trên bị đánh sao?
Để miền á gì lên lấy miền này chạy lấy là cái thơ này mà thơ mỗi nhóm là chạy nghe chết ba rồi.
Ôi khlang à.
Nhom bay bắt về hang thế là.
Prolong gì ban với nghe chân prolong lên ai vậy?
Prolong vậy ban tới ban lên
xa tôi mới quan riêng này.
Sốc chất khốn chiếc mà còn oi đến đi vậy ra lấy
hai
chỉ thật ba prolong cô ai sẽ lạnh rằng ấy.
Đang chữ món này.
Phi mà đó, phi.
Thế rồi long lấy chứ. Sốt. Mày lấy điện.
Mày lấy nên ta bất click mà sai đã. Leo mà cái đèn nó trong mình.
Trời.
Đang hiện sang cái môi vào rồi long từ xa màn kìa này mà. Môi dạ.
Đó mẹ.
Prolong ấy. Đọc bay cái đấy sao man?
Hả?
Đọc bay cái đấy sao man? Rồi. Rồi cho đọc bay con đọc bay hay do đọc bay con đọc man rồi sao? Bốc Sam 4 Smam rồi không 4 nó lấy lôi vậy.
Chứ đọc cái đấy mà.
Đọc cái đấy rồi thì nhóm tập chết mấy lấy ấy nhóm cái ao nhóm so không phải.
Cho cả lạc cái đấy.
Lạc cái đấy tôn trình phải phèm.
Cọp.
Lạc cái đấy mà cu.
Hả? Thành phí mà cứu ấy.
Lạc cái đấy mà cu. Cái đấy mà buồn. Cái đấy mà buồn.
Lạc cái đấy mà cu. Ô đám khỏe ai.
Ô chào ba. Lấy cái nét on nó nè. Chắc cả tiêu tí bấy màn phía rồi.
Xôi cho phèm.
Trời, xôi mán.
Phây phèm chất phèm.
Ý cả tiêu tí bấy chất phèm mà. Hai Xây cái ATCG rồi. Nó không chi vậy.
Đuông trai mẹ.
Đuông lóng vô đuông trai. Đuông hua đuông rất. Ơi cái tay à kịp ổn đuông trai. Xây lôi tính không đâu, xây lôi tính không.
Lần này ốc nhá, phèm mỏi lá miếng nó luôn á.
Trẻ thái lôi miên ta còn kê mình trong bật tranh lụa tà lá núa nó ban lôi
miền sờ rồi bay buôn cưỡng xong cho chi hạt xuống mờ mày yên ai phở
chị lá tất mình ấy nè bà nơi lôi bà
ឆ្ងល់ជិះម៉ូតូយឺតប៉ុណ្ណឹងឯងនៅបញ្ហាទៅជិះម៉ូតូយឺតអស់តាមប្រឡងហ្នឹង
vậy má nó nhôm chim một tô một pro lắm á lần vậy tới chỉ tầm xám sai nguyên lên nó rồi đó
Chút đó mình chạm vào xăng rồi. Thôi mua cái gì?
nơi kẹt nông can là có ba chiếc á ngày nâng kê vô sầm nạm mà nữ bây giờ sai sập bay nữa là kê thơ ca và lý số vua thì
vô nó khai đa tay
vô nơi một panh lắmผมkhen phẹp nhungผมkhenก็แผบnhung còn vội mà
sao khen vậy
lôi chiếc đuôi chai vôเลยnhóm so đó mà
trời
trong gì tha sinh hốt để thơ bờ lý hả
chả thai
rồi hút ca covid này
trời
vậy tới hiện là cái chua hô hiện kem ép ca covid
ban tam bảo thai
thế sụp bố tí giờ sống ti tập trồng lón á
cho long vì đám máy đây
phơi té đuông chai đó phơi mày đa nó nghịch mấy cái cặp kia rồi
Chút đó mở video cặp tại đây nhớ chơi ạ
nắng ấy sụp bố đồ lông giật mặt hàngទៀត
rồi muốn cho lắm là già cả này chán già
đồ lông giật kiểu giật ấy á sụp bố
Chùm ở meeting đấy giờ record phóng picture mà nó sell bạn là vậy cái này
miền ấy dân vậy kia lọ ta dân miền từ vậy ấy
nó chừng món nó đau rồi
cái
nó chừng món đó rồi
nặc trường mua cái cùng giấy con diễn con record cùng giấy con record cùng giấy
bài của vùng đây phải
ôn vậy mà prolong sập chặt tay nhà cả ấy hồi nhá đặt bị khói mà to chỉ học sập hồi nhập prolong bị khói mà
nhưng thực chất hồi nhà đó cái này mình hoàn thiện
sập chặt đặt prolong nó lơm to mà non prolong tầng coi mà tay cho công ai prolong thứ ấy là phật tận sọt bàn
kindness make you the most beautiful person in the world, no matter what you look like.
prolong hay anh cá chơi là khó rồi ấy
ôi prolong vậy ông lệ chút mà
ôi tâm được chút cái sai cho mình còn tân giấy có chút đó nó ơi nhầm chả này đó nè
ăn chút mà đã là chút
cho ba mấy
no matter what you look like
không sửa lạnh tăng sam ti múa lợi mà nhiều chắc má nó trông gì thế
ơi nhung con mà là xa đọc ai nữa nhung
mấy các Milo đây mà có thấy nhật thì ai buôn nổi thơ hết Milo rồi
đúng
thực ra bí à
cannot
mà có thính đó mơ bé bốc mơ tờ bé bốc ai chia cho kia đó ba đấy
ơi cha mẹ châu thơ ca đâm chui
tầm khán nơi mi chân má lưới chân chầm lia nè thơ ca nó để ấp ở giỏi cái vô chân mộng
trong mà ngày ngon thay mẹ chiếng ngày ngon
chơi mà nhé bro thăm bản bắt viên nữa bro
Asaka nó ron môi nấu vì lên bay cùng tay camera áo hay vì đặt vì đặt to cho cái lại nào
trời trong vậy tha phụ viết bạc cắm tao mẹ nào mà lôi từ ní kia sao ấy
ở đây vì ta to này tại vừa giải nó vì thực chất vì xong cho bạn thơ bạc cắm vì tham vì thực chất ai kia bị chụp ai từ ban châu thơ bạc cắm
chẳng bằng kia bánh ngộm là
bạn xôm vào đam từ đó nè thằng kia mấy bạn sồn hùa còn đăng bà còn mình sai nơi mình nhận ma và còn mình bán chơi tay
gì sai con nó kia ai đổ bỏ nhom lạnh nhom lạnh rồi những gì tới em
con bán chơi
ai đổ nhom nhà ní không mấy tham là từ tôi score tha nơi nâng bia hiện nhảy nhảy ra có nhắm đi lại mà cái bị kém á
bộ tôm là năng giúp láng với đã chặt chia cho nam pet à để chặt à theo ban cam chặt ấy vì cho chặt ban bằng pet mà
rồi mà đôi ở po đấy nó đôi bộ nặng xí đa chặt của chú
thơ phối thơ chụp phim thấy băng bên
so choose call again
trời mà
ở đây là International Humanitarian Law bởi vì tâm mơ The Hague Convention sang phong vụ này bắt là bị khó chấp áp nghề tại đọcไปkhơi ông break mỗi chân ngắt đó lắm không nên là thế sao và đó chân đôi chưa condemn action
bộ này là bộ mơ lại đương trai
chứ mà chẳng sao mày cho bài đền mơ lại đương trai mà mấy cắt to hủ muối pot đó là bay rồi
không sợ quê
giờ cái thì công
sĩ bài tia phòng sĩ hay cho sĩ bài xẹp
cho proloi sĩ bài xẹp lên nè xong ăn từ một hộp bán proloi từ một hộp bàn nhưng tụi bay là lại na chứ tụi bay này nè ngoài tụi bạn tất chất rồi lắm vô AC từ nhà em rồi lắm
còn ấy tính 5 phút phản ta đó
mà cái bàn nó xa là hơi trang sinh được pet à
rồi lắm cảnh té đấy
nó mất té nó té à một té bàn màn ngày á
ở đây ca cho hiện sang từ bốn kênh pro nó đô lại ôi trời tôi là bây giờ nó bị xoắn á cả là Nam đó lên trang xua lại
rồi prolong đang từ cổ đấy prolong dưỡng lỗ sang ấy còn tan dễ cực siêu đó một nó theo tới đằng siêu phần nào
đưa cho mấy hai tờ khiều lời
ở đây không hai đám từ đây nó mi mà màn ngay vậy
từ mi mà thế អូប្រឡងគេឲ្យខ្ញុំគេឲ្យខ្ញុំចុះ error free តែខ្ញុំសើជាប់ខ្ញុំថាខ្ញុំអត់ចង់ខ្ញុំអត់ចង់រៀនចោលមិត្តភក្តិខ្ញុំឈ្មោះឡុងទេ
Việt Namប្រឡងទៀត
មែន
តែប្រឡងទៅចប់
រៀនដល់មករៀនអឺរ៉ាទេនោះថ្នាក់យើងមានម្នាក់ដែរតែប្រូ
ហ្នឹងហើយប្រូពេញរាល់ខ្ញុំនិយាយឌឺប្រូឯងតា
ថ្ងៃឯងថ្ងៃ
មែនប្រូពេញរាល់មើ share experience ខ្លះមើលក៏លោកខ្ញុំបានមាននិស័យផលបុណ្យអីចឹងបានរៀនអឺរ៉ាចឹងណា
អឺរ៉ាជាប់ដែរ
សួរប្រឡងប្រឡងដែរតា
អើយកប្រឡងលាក់ឡងលាក់ទៅហើយ អាមិនប្រឡងគេតែផឹកហើយអាប្រឡងហើយតើកោអា
តាមពិតណាបើពេលហ្នឹងប្រូឯងកុំខ្វល់ពីប្រឡងហ្នឹងឲ្យមកមួយខ្ញុំណាប្រឡងឯងប្រឡងជាប់បាត់ដែលឃើញប្រឡងឯងខំរៀនណាប្រឡងអត់សូវជាប់ទេបើអត់ខំប្ររៀនដូចខ្ញុំមកប្រឡងជាប់ហ្នឹងប្រឡងឯងដែលឃើញខ្ញុំរៀនអត់ទេ
តែដល់ឲ្យខួរវាធំ
ធំមិន1គីឡូ2ខាំដូចគ្នា
គួរមនុស្សធម្មតា1គីឡូ2ខាំគួរដងគួរដាំ5គីឡូ
ព្រោះយើងរៀនអនឡាញស្មើយើងរៀនបើរៀន semester ទៀតស្មើយើងរៀន3 semester រៀន physical ខ្លះហើយ
ធុញមករៀនអនឡាញនិយាយមែនបាទ
អាកាឡាត្រូវមានអនុស្សាវរីយ៍រកផ្លិចយោអនុស្សាវរីយ៍រកផ្លិចចាញ់សំដីមក
ខ្ញុំនិយាយមែនណារងថ្ងៃខ្ញុំនឹកបាញ់ស្រុងហើយប្រឡងញ៉ាំបាញ់ស្រុងអត់ដាក់ស្ដែកដីហើយប្រហួរយកបាញ់ស្រុងដុបអីណាអត់បន្លែទេណា
សង្ស័យមាន
មីកោកដុប
ដឹងនឹកកូនស្រីគេណាទេចេះមកថានឹកនេះនឹកនោះឯង
នឹកណាខ្ញុំលើហោពេលធ្វើការមិនបានអត់នេះ
សង្ស័យមានរូបថតឆ្នាំទី2មួយឯងថតចូលគ្នាក្នុងថ្នាក់ក្រោយហ្នឹងអត់មានទេលែងមានទេ
អូថតទៅជើងមន់ណាប្រូយើងណាហ៊ានមើលគ្នាស្គាល់គ្នាពីទឹកហៅគ្នាទៅដើរលេងណាមែនណាប្រឡងដើរលេងណាស្គាល់គ្នាពីទឹកដើរលេងណា
អេពេលហ្នឹងទៅអ៊ំទូកវិញ
អ៊ំទូកស្គាល់គ្នាពីទឹកហៅគ្នាទៅ
record
ពេលហ្នឹងយើងទៅមើលអ៊ំទូកជាអត្តសញ្ញាណនៃ culture យើង
ឥឡូវទី1ហ្នឹងមានបានទៅណា
ពេលហ្នឹងទៅតែខ្ញុំប្រឡងហើយមួយប្រូឆាហេងទេ
ឆាហេងឡើងល្បី
Republic of Book និយាយថាគ្នាយើងជួយតម្លៃ page Republic of Book ហង
influencer
មានបានមើលថៃ diplomacy ឆ្នាំ1990មកអត់ទៅមើល Republic of Book ហ្នឹងទៅគាត់មានអានសភៅស្អី The King Never Smile
មក
អាហ្នឹងមកគេនិយាយអីខ្លះ
កម្លាំង like page Republic of Book ហ្នឹងបាន 10k លក់អនឡាញ
ខ្ញុំសួរមើលណាគេស្គាល់កោះញែកទេ
កោះញែកក៏ស្គាល់តែផាកោះញែក
ខ្ញុំប្រាប់ផ្លូវឲ្យស្គាល់
បុផាកោះញែកហ្នឹងខ្ញុំជាបាត់បុផាកោះញែកហ្នឹងតែអូព្រោះគាត់ទៅសលេងខ្ញុំព្រោះអញ្ចឹងមែនណា
កោះញែកនៅកំពង់ចាមហីតែបុផាកោះញែកនៅ KTV ណាក៏មានដែរ
យ៉ាគ្មានទេខ្ញុំមើលក្នុង laptop ខ្ញុំទេសួរប្រឡងគាត់ស្គាល់ច្រើនបុផាកោះញែកណាខ្លះ
ប្រឡងឲ្យទៅចេញរៀននឹងត្រូវបុផាកោះញែក
មានអារម្មណ៍ថាឆើពងគួយស្ដាប់យើងឯង teacher គាត់ភាសាបាយយូរដែរណា
So welcome back, everyone.
Hello, Chair.
Yes.
Chair, where you wear mask at home, Chair?
Because I went out and I contact so many people. We just don't know who is who. And my kids are always around. So to take precaution, I think it's good that I have to wear a mask, even at home.
Okay.
Right. Because you don't know whether the person that you keep in touch outside get infected or not, even they are not in the list announced by the Ministry of Health, but that you know, we can assume that there are many there are other infected people who are not be accounted for. So okay, everyone, it's good. So I'd like you to go back to question here. So we have 4 questions like what is research? Is research important? What is research Cambodia like? And what are the challenges and the way to improve research in Cambodia? All right, so let's come to the first question. What is research? So can I invite any of you who volunteer? You can. Any of you who volunteer, please go ahead.
Hello, can I try?
So what is research?
Research is the process of gaining the knowledge through hypothesis, experience, as well as in inquiry.
Can you repeat again loudly, please, because I don't catch it. Yeah, please. It's a process what?
Research is a process of gaining knowledge through the hypothesis, experience, and inquiry.
Okay. Doing inquiry. Testing hypothesis. Okay. Okay. Anything else, please?
Chair.
Yes, please go ahead.
In-depth study about a specific problem in order to fill the knowledge gap.
Okay, study of specific problem to fill in knowledge gap. Right.
Tell me.
Yes, please go ahead.
So I come up with a short and easy one to understand. Research is the process of discovering new knowledge.
Process of discovering knowledge.
Yes. We don't research for all things that we know, but we research for the things that we don't know and the things that is new.
Okay, good. Any other?
I have one, teacher.
Yes.
Research is a knowledge generation that is reliable and trustable.
Generating knowledge that is reliable and process of generating knowledge, right?
Yes, that is reliable and trustable.
Reliable and testable.
Trustable.
Oh, trustable. Oh, so generating reliable and trustable knowledge, right? Okay. Process is generating reliable and trustable knowledge. Okay. Anything else? Is that it? There's some more you can add. No? Yeah. If no, I'd like to introduce some definition. You can look. I think you are all right. Just want to compare your answers to some definition of some dictionary. I choose two dictionary, Cambridge Dictionary and Merriam-Webster, and probably I think one more maybe. Look at Wikipedia. Let's look at Cambridge first. So what is research? Okay, over here. Okay. So Cambridge say that research is a detailed study of a subject, especially in order to discover new information or reach a new understanding. Okay, quite similar to what to your definition. I think your definition is even better. Just want to have a look at the sources, right? So Cambridge Dictionary. And you look at, I think Merriam-Webster is quite famous. So look at, research. Okay, so research, according to Merriam-Webster, research is referred to investigation or experimentation aimed at discovery, yes, like you said, process discovering knowledge. But they refer to also a process, an action of investigating and experimenting, aimed at discovery and interpretation of fact, revision of accepted theory. I mean, revising existing theory or law based on or in light of the new fact. or practical application of such a new revised theory and law. Okay. Okay, I think it's even, it looked like definition by Merriam-Webster is more comprehensive than the one provided by Cambridge University. Sorry, Cambridge Dictionary. So this is from Merriam-Webster. How about Wikipedia? How do they define research here? Research is creative and systematic work undertaken to increase the stock of knowledge. Yes. They generate knowledge, expand the knowledge. They said increase the stock of knowledge. And it involves, probably, you haven't mentioned this, the collection, organization, and analysis of information or data to increase understanding of a topic and issue, right? So I think this kind of definition sort of complement each other, complement with the definition provided by you. So I think it's good if you compare, right? Compare different definition. They are not much different. Just definition by different source. They're very similar. Some they have some sort of extra layout, right? Extra detail, right? That complement each other. Okay, so you have 4 sources here. And now we move to research important. So is research important or not? Why not? Okay, so anyone has any idea about the importance of research?
Yes, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sure, it's important, sir, because research it can provide new finding or new innovation to the public, and it serves the public good, sir.
Okay, so provide new finding, new what?
Innovation, sir. Innovation.
Oh, good. Okay, innovation. Promote innovation. Okay, good point. This one. So provide new finding, promote innovation. Yes. Any other point? Anyone? Like to hear from other group? How about group 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Teacher, I think that research is important because it helps improve our knowledge and also expand our critical thinking as well as analyze what is happening around us.
Okay, expand knowledge. Okay, expand. Okay, if it's good, I could say expand or generate knowledge. Generate new knowledge. New knowledge and it sort of, what is it? You talk about critical thinking, right?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so we need a verb for that. What's that verb? Strengthen, right? Critical thinking. Okay. All right. What else?
Research. For me, research is the grassroots for any specific development in the country.
To promote development, right? Can you give example? How can research promote development in the country?
For example, like if the government want to improve any infrastructure or like develop new policy, they need to do research in advance.
Okay, very good. Yeah. if you need a policy. Okay, good point. Probably I need to mention the term like research. Okay, have you heard the word research informed policy? It's a kind of policy. It's a kind of policy that is based on the research. Why policy should be based on the research? Because if you want that policy to be practical, to be well implemented, it needs to be based on evidence, on the fact. And that fact come from the research. Okay, come from the research. Otherwise, if we just create the policy without without research, the policy tend to be implementable, cannot be implemented. I think in some countries, especially developing countries, they have a lot of policy. They have every policy, but many policy cannot be implemented because they lack the research. They are not based on the fact, on the reality. Yeah, just based on imagination, based on perception, and our perception can be false, can be wrong, right? Contrary to the fact. So how do we know the fact? We know the fact through the research, right? And the other one, I think, have you ever heard the word evidence-based practice? So if you go to the country, every developed country like Singapore, for example, the United States, for example, every kind of practice in every field, medical practice, educational practice, everything they based on evidence come from the research, right? Come from the research. Yeah. So for example, I give you example in a teacher training. I used to be a teacher. I used to attend many courses in teacher training because I was trained as a teacher, English teacher, in an English department originally. So when I went to Singapore, for example, you attend the courses and teaching methodology, and there are many practices, including dress code, dressing. They said teacher should be well dressed. And the question, why? Because they said that teacher, well-dressed teacher, could actually lead to more concentration and attention from the student, for example. And how do they know that? They base on research, through observation or through whatever. They said when the teacher give instruction, teacher should stand in front of the student, not behind the student, for example. And we can ask the question again, why? Yeah, because they're based on the research, because the research showing that when the teacher provide the instruction, the teacher stand in front of the student get more understanding of the instruction because they get more attention from the student. Okay, so everything is based on, every kind of practice is based on the research. Right. For example, have you ever doubt one thing? Have you ever doubt about when you were young in the elementary school? Why each chunk or each period of class lasts for only 45 minutes to 1 hour? Yeah, you have 3 break, right? 3 break. ចេញលេខ 3 ដង ម៉ោង 8 ចេញម្ដង ម៉ោង 9 ចេញម្ដង ម៉ោង 10 ចេញម្ដង ម៉ោង 10 ចេញទៅផ្ទះ Why not we have only 1 break or 2 break? Or like at IFL, we have only 1 break, right? But why we have 3 breaks in the elementary school? Because the research shows that young students cannot hold their concentration longer than 45 minutes. This is based on research. Do you get a point? Right. Even adult learner like us, we classify concentration into different layer or category. We have high concentration, medium concentration, and low concentration. And high concentration lead to higher learning, deep learning. And they said that deep learning of students lasts no longer than 45 minutes. And after that, they fall into the second layer or second category, medium learning, and then low learning. This is all based on research. So if you go to developed country like Singapore, you go to the United States, everything has been researched. Every practice. That's why when the researcher come to Cambodia and they call Cambodia research paradise. Why we are called research paradise? Do you know that?
Because there are a lot of things to research on.
Because there are a lot what?
A lot of area to research on.
Yes, very good. Because there are many things which has not been studied, which has not been researched. So it's easy for you to look for something to do research, right? So if you want to graduate from a PhD program, you should choose developing country like Cambodia to do research, because there are many things that nobody researches. So you have a higher probability of having new finding. So if you have a new finding, you can graduate from a PhD program. But if you choose to study a topic in Singapore, in the United States, there is a higher chances of having no new finding in your study. Why? Because everything has been researched already. You get a point? So that is we call research paradigm. So I go back to this point. Okay. So again, research, the important research, including providing new finding, promote innovation. You are right. If you want to have innovation, innovate idea, new design, you need research. Okay, generate new knowledge. That's correct, because you have new finding. New finding leading to new knowledge. You can have critical thinking only when you have research skill as well. Okay? Otherwise, your critical thinking is too shallow. It's not in depth because you lack research base. Promote development through research-informed policy, evidence-based practice. Anything else?
Sure, I want to add.
Pardon?
I want to add one more point.
Please, go ahead.
After your explanations, I come up with one more point, which is research is very important because it can find answers to the things that are unknown.
Answer to?
To the things
unknown.
Yes, that are unknown.
Okay. You mean new discovery?
Yes.
Okay. New discovery, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. You're right.
More point.
To new discovery. Yes.
It is important because it can test the validity of previous research.
Okay. Testing validity of previous research. Okay. One more thing I like to add here: promote development through a solution. Okay, solution to social issue like traffic problem, suicide. Okay, for example, yes, some countries they have problem with suicide. For example, like Japan, right, have the higher suicide rate. So you want to have more practical solution, you have to base on research. Okay. Any other? If no more, let's move to the next one. How do you assess the research situation? What is your general impression about research in Cambodia?
Like I think the research in Cambodia is like the information is very limited, and most of the available sources are in the foreign language. So, like not many research are being done in Khmer, or like even if it is done in Khmer, like there's no reliable source in Khmer. It's just like in foreign language, most of them.
Right? So research is limited, particularly in Khmer language. Anything else? Any other assessment?
And I think we also don't have many research institutions in Cambodia.
Lacking research institution. Yes. Any other?
Can it be lack of qualified researchers?
Okay, lacking qualified researchers. So this is similar to what you are discussing about the challenges, right? Yeah. In the next slide, we're talking about the challenges as well. But it's okay. It can be part of it. Yeah. But this one, we want you to have a look at overall picture, right? Overall picture of the research in Cambodia.
Sure. I think the research field in Cambodia is dominated by NGO. Yeah, and the field that they usually research on is agriculture and social.
Related research on limited topic, right? So as you said, like social issue and so on, right? Okay. Any other? So in general, we have a weak research division, right? Culture is weak. That also related to weak reading habit as well.
Also lack funding.
Like what?
Funding.
Lack funding, right?
Yeah, funding on research investment.
Okay, lack funding and investment. On research, investment in research. But in general, we can also say that the research in Cambodia started to some extent to improve, right? To improve to some extent, not at a favorable point yet. Yes, just to some extent. Okay, very good point. So let's move to the challenges. Can you list down some challenges?
Me like
Yes, please.
for the challenge, it is in Cambodia we having a difficult time in collecting data since not all the data we get are the sufficient data, and
So
we
can
are
you
lacking all the
summarize
data.
it short? What is that?
We lacking out the value information
Lacking
or information. I think.
lacking information.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good point. Next.
And I want to add is we take a lot of time to complete one research paper.
Yeah, that's right. Time consuming, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, time consuming. Usually research time consuming. Okay, but somehow this issue is not particular in Cambodia. It's a general issue of research.
Lack of research skill and source of information.
Okay, so lacking
of research skill.
Skill.
Yes.
Lack of interest and support.
Okay, lacking support from who? From
people and government.
Okay, lacking government support. In fact, the government provides some support through the Ministry of Economic and Finance. It said it allocate, like I told you, it's allocate some budget for the research provided to the Ministry of Education. But somehow there are a lot of complaints saying that nobody can use those budget at all, because they always complain that those budget you have to follow very complicated procedure set by the Ministry of Economic and Finance. And it looked like the official in the Ministry of Economic and Finance, they don't understand about the research process. So when they set the criteria, they set the requirement, it does not reflect the research, the good research practice at all, right?
Okay. About the research in universities, I think there's some kind of lack of institutional support. For example, during my research, there are limited support from the IFL from the school.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's also hard for students to research on their own topic as well.
True. Yeah, that's true. I think in other developed country, the university, they have some budget to support the student doing research as well, especially the talented student, right? Yes. Yeah, but in Cambodia, I think it's hard, even in the context of our university, right? We don't have we have some budget, but not enough to, especially to the student, right? Anything else, everyone?
Can I say corruption?
Pardon?
Can I say corruption? Corruption is one of the challenges.
How can the corruption involved with the research?
Actually, the corruption can involve with the research by some people. They propose for the budget, for researching budget, but they use it. They are not able to use it wisely and targeted.
Okay. So I think it's good just to mention like lacking research budget. Because the word corruption here is general because in fact you can say that corruption is the root cause of everything, right? Even the root cause of lacking research budget, right? But I think to be more academic and specific in this context, I think we better put lacking research budget. Whether this is because of corruption or because of political purpose or whatever, I think this is the other issue. Definitely. Okay.
Sure. One more, I think we lack research ethics.
Lack research ethics. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because some researchers they tamper with the result of the research, and sometimes they even sell the result to other data to other companies.
Okay.
You can see like Smart, they sell our phone number to WeMart.
That's right. Okay, so let's come to solution, the last part. So how to solve, how to improve research, okay, everyone? How to improve research in Cambodia? Yeah, if I ask this question in the midterm, in your semester exam, what is your answer?
First thing first, we need to educate a high qualified researcher.
Okay, so research training. Okay. So that we can recruit qualified researcher. Okay. Anything else?
Provide budget to the research development.
Yeah, so they should have allocate more what? Can I use the word spendable? I mean, you have a budget. You know, some ministry, they are very tricky. They set the budget, but nobody can spend it. They just for advertising, for marketing, to say, hey, you know, we set this budget for the research, but in reality, nobody can spend those money at all. So spendable, I use the word spendable budget for R&D. Is that right? For R&D, research and development, right? Anything else?
Teacher, I think.
Yes, please.
It needs incentive, like we had to create incentive for individual or researcher to have the one to do research, like giving like seminar to public, so that everyone might be interested in research and starting to involve in the research process.
You have to incentivize the researcher. You know, some in Cambodia, researchers are very poor. Nobody want to be researcher, right? If you want a developed country, you need researcher. Like you said, you need research. If you want to promote research for development, the country, you need to recruit more researcher, and that you have to provide them incentive, right? If the researcher don't have enough incentive, they don't want to be researcher. They do something else. Okay, you are right. So we say incentivize researcher adequately. Maybe the word adequately. Sometimes they provide incentive, but not enough. Any other? 1 or 2 points? 2 more points? 1 or 2 more points? That's enough.
Hello.
Yes,
Can
hello.
I try?
Yes.
So to improve research in Cambodia, I think another way to improve it is that to broaden the channel to reliable source for researcher at an affordable price or a very low price so that they all can get access to it, because mostly when it comes to research in Cambodia, the access to reliable source is really small, and if it is not that reliable at all.
So you mean access to scholarly research?
Yep.
Publication?
Yes.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, right now, even though you want to do research, for example, in literature review, you have to review all the existing study related to your research. But if you cannot have access to those journal, like journal, article, book, how come, right? How can we do the literature review? How can we review all the existing study? That's impossible, right? Okay, one last point, if anybody have. No? All right. If you don't have, no problem. So that's good. This all your product, right? You all come up with conclusion, and I give you comparisons with some other source, right? Right, and then this is your idea about the importance of research. I just add some point. And yeah, the general assessment of the research situation in Cambodia, all this mostly negative. So I add something a little bit more positive here at the end. And okay, very interesting. You come up with the real challenges and some solutions to go. It's very simple. Usually in developing countries, they are all always have more challenges, many challenges, right? So I will upload this to your class. You're right. EC.1, right?
Yeah, teacher.
Here we go. Okay. That's good. Okay, that's good. This seems to be all. You have done a great job, everybody. Let me check attendance for a second session before you leave. So, say not here?
Yes, sir.
But Dom?
Yes, sir.
Mùi Bụi? Mùi Bụi here? No. Absent. Siết Nan? Is Siết Nan here? Absent. Chay Long?
Yes, sir, I'm here, sir.
Supanya?
Yes, like I'm here.
Dalin?
Yes, like I'm here.
Dane?
Yes, like I'm here.
Panyarot? Boramay?
Yes, like.
Pachata? So, Liswan Pachata? Absent. Dahlia?
Yes, like.
Monitor, don't forget to form 6 group, right? And send it to
Yes.
me next week.
I'll send to you by tonight.
All right, thank you. Prasati?
Yes, teacher.
Sepik?
Yes, teacher.
Samnang?
Yes, I'm here.
Tikun?
Yes, teacher.
Puthirat?
Yes, teacher.
Which mean?
Yes, like.
Kanita?
Yes.
Kuông?
Yes, teacher.
Reni?
Teacher.
Sun Hua?
Yes, teacher.
Which mean?
Yes.
Của sông Tây?
Yes, teacher.
Rang Say?
Yes.
Tida?
Yes, teacher.
Virabot?
Yes, teacher.
Chendanit?
Yes.
Satikun?
Yes, teacher.
Kedia?
Yes, teacher.
Satchanit?
Yes, teacher.
Senasa?
Yes, teacher.
Radavin?
I'm here, teacher.
Ratiriet?
Yes, sir.
So Visal?
Yes, sir.
Chanmani Rod? Chanmani Rod?
Charmany Rod is here.
Okay. Jordan? Jordan? Absent, right? Suphana?
Yeah, like.
And Suchita?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, so let me confirm absentee, including Jordan, Suvan Pachita,
Hello,
Sitnan,
like
and Mui Vuj, right?
Mùi Vuj is here.
Who?
Mùi Vuj.
Mui Vuj is here. Who else? If you don't hear your name, please let me know. All right. If everybody is here the name, that's good. So your homework, everyone, for next session is to read the first chapter, get the textbook, and read the first chapter. It's about introduction to research method in international relations. Okay, so please read this chapter. So when we come back next week, we will have other work to do, right? So please read before the class, right? Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for your attendance and your attention and cooperation as well. So enjoy your dinner now. Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
lecturer.
Goodbye,